inevitable death. How do we plan our lives? That is what Amir al-Mu'mineen is going to describe for us in the rest of his letter. I will finish with a small passage. One day, the Khalifa at the time of Imam al-Hadi, who was one of the most vicious in the entire history of the Umayyad and Abbasid dynasties. And so one night he's in a maniacal stupor. He's inebriated, he's intoxicated, he's drunk out of his head. And so he says, go and bring me Ali ibn Muhammad. Let's have some fun with him. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So they go and they drag Imam al-Hadi to this man's palace. As he's drinking and singing and enjoying himself, as soon as he sees the Imam, he says to him, sing for me. The Imam said, the first thing he did was, in fact, he offered him some wine. He said, how about you take a drink? The Imam said, that has never touched my body in my entire lifetime, and I won't be touching it now. So then he said, if that's the case, then sing for me. The Imam said, look, I don't know how to sing, but I will read some poetry for you. So he read to him poetry that's attributed to Amir al-Mu'mineen. What is it? باتوا على قلل الأجبال تحرسهم غلب الرجال فتنفعهم القلل واستنزلوا بعد عز من معاقلهم وأودعوا حفرا يا بئس ما نزلوا. He said, they took the mountaintops, they in a reference to people in this world, but especially tyrants and lovers of this dunya. They took dwellings on mountaintops to protect themselves. تحرسهم غلب الرجال. They had powerful men who protected them. فلم تنفعهم القلل. But those summits, those mountaintops were useless for them, meaning at the point of death. واستنزلوا بعد عز من معاقلهم. They were pulled down from their fortified palaces. وَأُودِعُوا حُفَرًا. They placed them in holes, in pits. يَا بِئْسَ مَا نَزَلُوا. And what terrible pits they were. نَادَاهُمُ صَارِخٌ مِّن بَعْدِ مَا قُبِرُوا. A caller then addressed them after they were interred. أَيْنَ الْأَسِرَّةُ وَالتِّيجَانُ وَالْحُلَلُ. Where are the thrones? Where are the fancy and comfortable beds? Where are the ornaments that you used to beautify yourselves with? أين الوجوه التي كانت منعمة. Where are those faces that were made to look beautiful? من دونها تضرب الأستار والكلل. They used to protect and shield those faces from the sun's rays so that they wouldn't be changed, their discoloration wouldn't happen. أين الملوك وأبناء الملوك ومن قاد الجيوش ألا يا بئس ما عملوا. Where are the kings and the princes who used to lead armies and conquest, and what terrible actions they committed? فأفصح القبر حين سألهم. They couldn't speak back. Instead, the grave responded. تلك الوجوه عليها الدود تقتتل. Those faces, the ones that were made beautiful, now have worms killing each other in order to eat that flesh. قد طالما أكلوا دهرا وما شربوا فأصبحوا بعد طول الأكل قد أكلوا. They spent an entire lifetime eating and drinking and consuming and having fun, and now they are being eaten themselves. The acknowledgement of our mortality, the remembrance of death, always reminding ourselves of the fact that everyone will die and so will I, and in fact it will always happen sooner than I expect. I might now think that I have 20 years ahead of me, or 30 or 40 or 50, depending on how old you are, because that statistics can be misleading. But you should know for a fact that no matter when death comes, you'll feel that it's way too soon. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and to illuminate our hearts with His remembrance, and by allowing us to connect to Amir al-Mu'mineen, the father of this nation, the father of all believers,